In today's video, we're gonna go over 10 Poshmark tips to double your sales this month. I've been getting a lot of questions on Poshmark specifically since I dropped the last video on my sales skyrocketing. And since I don't really talk about the platform a lot in most videos, I figured I would create a compilation video of all my best Poshmark tips together. If you implement these, you'll see your Poshmark sales rise significantly.
Tip number one is to list your items more expensively from the get-go than you expect to sell them. This creates a sense of value when you drop your prices, whether that's during a closet clear out sale, which happens about 2 to 3 times a month, or if you're just dropping them and making an offer to likers as you accumulate more interest in a listing. And if you sell it at that higher price point initially, then great, more power to you. Now, 2 of the things that I touched on are closet clear out sale and making offers to likers. Those are 2 of the most valuable tools that you can utilize in your Poshmark closet to prompt more sales, right? That's the number one reason, or 1A and 1B really, because there's 2 of them there, that you want to stick to higher listings initially so that you can drop your price and still maintain that air of value. So I usually sell more during a closet clear out sale, or the 2 closet clear out sales that happen, right, than I do the entirety of the month without them. The reason being is during a closet clear out sale, what Poshmark will do is Poshmark covers the shipping for the buyer, and then obviously they get a 10% discount. So if you drop your items and your listings down 10% from the original purchase price that they're listed at, well then the people that like those listings are gonna get notified that, hey, this has free shipping for the next 24 hours, and oh, by the way, the price has dropped 10%. So they don't have to pay the shipping and they get a cheaper price. One of the best ways that you can initiate more sales on Poshmark is to utilize these closet clearouts to your advantage. But just like tip number 1, you can't do that if you start listing your products too low. So list them high and be patient. Tip number 2 is to organize your closet for visitors and for more sales. So there's 2 ways to basically do this, right? You want to put your sold items at the bottom by as you get sales and as you accumulate more sales, you'll see that you get that little sold tag on it, right? So what you want to do is you want to share all the items around that so that your sold ones end up at the bottom, because when you share an item, it moves to the top of your closet. So you want to make sure to organize all your sold items toward the bottom of your closet so people don't have to scroll through a bunch of sold stuff to see exactly what is available still for sale. And the next one is to put your most desirable items at the top of the closet. You'll start to notice that as you put your most desirable items at the top of the closet, that's really gonna prompt a lot more sales on those specific items, because the majority of people that come to your closet are only gonna share back the top 2 to 4 things maybe, because the majority of people are doing it from the app, and you'll notice that once you hop on the app, you can only really see the top 2 to 4 items, and they're the easiest to share. If somebody's coming back to do share for share, kind of like for like on Instagram, right? So if you share something of theirs and they're gonna come back and share something of yours, they're not gonna scroll down to like 10 listings below and share one of those. No, they're gonna share the top 2 or 4 listings. So make sure that you're organizing your closet items for that actual optimization when people come back and share them. Tip number 3 is to organize your closet for specific parties. So what do I mean by that? For instance, let's say that there's, I don't know, a jean party going on right now, right? And you have 2 or 3 jeans in your closet. Well, what do you want to do? You want to organize your jeans to the top of your closet by sharing them, and then what I want you to do is go to the jean party and start sharing from there. Now, you can really utilize tip number 4 that we're gonna go over here in a second to get more of your bang for your buck when you're doing this. But in short, what you wanna do is you wanna organize your jeans to the top of the closet, or whatever the niche or party that is currently going on if you have listings for that. And then you're gonna go to the jean party and share a number of listings and just continually do that. Why is that? Why do you think? Because anybody in the jean party is either listing jeans, so they obviously are interested in potentially looking and liking your jeans in the future, or they're there to buy. And as you start to share more and more stuff, it's gonna bring more and more traffic and more shares to your closet. Also, like we talked about before, the top 2 to 4 listings in your closet are gonna get the most visibility, the most traffic, and the most potential likes and shares, thus pushing your jeans out to a number of and variety of people that are currently on the platform looking for what? Looking for jeans, right? So make sure you're utilizing that to your advantage. Don't just organize your closet by putting the sold items to the bottom and your best items at the top, but also organize it for the specific party that's going on currently and the specific party that you're sharing from at that current time period. That is one of the best tips that I could give you to prompt more sales and really convert a lot more of your Poshmark closet traffic into purchasers. Tip number 5 is one that I see a lot of beginners not really understanding, and that is to be patient and not expect your listing to sell right away, okay? You could be leaving a lot of potential profit margin on the table if you're trying to really list your items low, or even if you list them high like I initially said to, and then you're dropping them too fast, right? Be patient, don't expect your listings to sell right away, or realistically within a couple days even, okay? Some listings will sell almost immediately, some will sell in a couple days, some will sell in a couple weeks, and some might sell in 2 months when you find the right buyer. Obviously, there's no way to test specific sales velocity of an item or a niche on Poshmark. It's trial and error. But one of the best tips that I could give you to sell more at higher margins is obviously to scale your listings up, more listings, but also be patient and don't always expect your listings to sell right away. First is to relist stale items, okay? Now, you get to relist them at higher price points if you relist stale items. So what do I mean by stale items? And a stale item, in my opinion, is something that you've had listed for a while on Poshmark, and maybe you've made a bunch of offers to likers, and maybe you've dropped the price significantly during closet clearouts, and it's all the way down to below $10. While there might be interest on it, or maybe there is no interest on it, there's no likes on it, you can't really sell it at a price point that you like. You can't really make a good ROI and a profit on it. So if you relist that, basically you'll get more exposure on your listing because you're gonna get it pushed out to the top of the homepage or the app, obviously depending on where you're looking at it, to the people that follow you, right? And you're also gonna get that little red story thing at the top of the feed page for the people that also follow you, right? So it's gonna give you more exposure. On top of that, you're also gonna potentially be able to sell it at a higher price point and make more money ultimately, okay? So the next thing that I wanna talk about is sharing your closet multiple times per day. And you might be sitting there saying, well, I don't have time to share my closet multiple times a day. It takes forever, but you can automate the entire Poshmark sharing process, okay? I use a Google Chrome app. It's a free Google Chrome app initially for 7 days. You can try it out risk-free for 7 days. It sounds like a pitch, but it's not. It's called Simple Posture. I highly recommend it. After your 7-day trial, you can decide to stay on for $9.99 a month, which is gonna pay for itself time and time again. It helps you share from parties. It helps you share your closet, and it's gonna literally save you so much time and help you make so many more sales. I literally use it myself every single day in my Poshmark business, and I highly recommend that you check it out, okay? So you can automate the entire sharing of your closet. I recommend that you at least share it a couple times a day, if not more. You don't need to go crazy and do it like every hour, but maybe 2 to 3 times a day at least. That's basically going to, bring those items higher up in search results and keep them at the top of searches, okay? So it's gonna give your items more visibility. For example, say someone searches for medium red sweatshirt. Poshmark is going to show new listings for medium red sweatshirts, and new meaning, all I mean by new is either just listed or just shared, right? So if you just list an item, it gets more visibility in like a 24 to 48 hour window. I'm not sure the specifics on that, but all you really need to know, if you just list an item, it gets more visibility. If you just share an item, same thing. It gets more visibility. So share your closet and your items multiple times a day, and you can automate the process with Simple Posture. Now, tip number 3 would be to edit and update old listings. Now, this is super simple to do, and it's basically the same as relisting things, right? So it's gonna simulate a new listing update, and then you'll get more exposure on the homepage and in search results for that listing for a period of time, right? I'm not sure if it's 24 or 48 hours. Maybe somebody can comment below and let me know the specifics of that. But all you really need to know is if you edit and update your listings, meaning if you're on the couch watching TV or something, right? All you really need to do is hit edit on your iPhone or your Android, right, on the app. hit edit, and literally click list, edit list, edit list, edit list. That's gonna simulate a new listing, give you more visibility, and that will help you sell more. Moving on to tip number 4 now, and that is a simple one. It's basic, right? You hear it almost every tip video, regardless of we're talking about eBay, Poshmark, Amazon, or Mercari, and that is more inventory, right? Now you see the bins behind me. I'm constantly trying to stack up on more inventory. I need to expand potentially to another warehouse or, a garage or something like that. As I get more inventory, I'm running out of space. But the reason when you're doing your own fulfillment that you need more inventory, and even on Amazon with Amazon FBA, right, is more inventory equals more potential sales, which equals more potential profit, right? Too often people ask me, how can I sell $1,000 a month, right? Or how can I sell $5,000 a month across the variety of my stores? Or plug in any number there, right? Well, if you want to sell $1,000 a month, chances are you need at least $1,000 worth in inventory, right? So focus on building more inventory. If you're not selling enough, chances are you don't have enough inventory in your store. Now, the next one is another tip, especially for Poshmark, that's super crucial, and that is to prep your clothes before listing them, okay? Now, especially if they're used, but this also applies to certain new items, and you can get a steamer very, very cheaply. A steamer is super easy to use, and it works great. Now, you're gonna improve the listing pictures by steaming something, or even just ironing it, right? Or putting it in the wash sometimes, and really prepping your clothing before you take the pictures. That's gonna significantly increase the value that you can sell it for and help you make more money. For example, sometimes a simple steam on a wrinkled shirt, for example, will make a massive difference in the picture that you take and how it looks to the customer, and that will obviously help you sell more and help you sell it at a higher price point. The last and final tip is that your closet is not what you want to buy, okay? What do I mean by that? Well, too often people source their closet and they build items around what they like, right? So maybe the price point that they got that item at was a little too high, or a lot of different factors, right? But you need to stop sourcing that way because you're not shopping your closet, are you? No. So what it should be consisted of is profitable listings that will make you a good ROI, okay? Whatever that is, whether it's cashback items, coupon items, liquidation items, whether you're going to thrift stores, stop just buying things that you like because you're not buying those items, right? You need to source items that are profitable, that are gonna give you a good ROI long-term or short-term, regardless of how you're approaching it, right? So that means don't be afraid to source used items as well. You can make massive ROIs on used clothes if you try them out, and you'd be surprised that if you just prep some used clothing from time to time, you can get it super, super cheap for pennies on the dollar. You prep it, it looks good, you list it. People have interest on that, especially on Poshmark, right? So to recap, you can make great ROIs on used clothing. You do need to prep it though, obviously. It costs little to nothing to acquire and source it. And we all have extra clothing laying around if you just want to start that way, that maybe you've outgrown or you don't wear anymore.
So those are 10 tips that you can use to double your Poshmark sales at the very least. If you got any value from this video whatsoever, please give it a thumbs up. I genuinely appreciate it. As good as these tips are though, you'll still struggle if you're not using software to automate the sharing of your closet. So if you already sell on Poshmark or you want to at any point in time in the future, check out the video linked up in the right-hand corner right now. That will walk you through the entire process of how to set up an automation software and different ways that you can use the sharing and the auto sharing in it to scale your closet and get more sales fast. Until next time.